ICPC has just launched a new generation of fighters against corruption, and they're starting with students. At a cluster inauguration of anti-corruption clubs held for some private schools in Abuja, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission made it clear the war against corruption starts now, and it starts young. Speaking on behalf of Mr. Demola Bakari, FSI, Director of Public Enlightenment and Education, Deputy Director Mr. John Oko Ode emphasized the Commission's long-term vision for Nigeria.
The ICPC is very, very interested in the future that we create for the generations to come. Many of you, or almost all of you, I think, these are all private schools, right? Your parents did not put you in private schools because they like the word private. No. They put you in private schools because at a point in time in the history of Nigeria, parents lost faith in public schools. Strike every day, poor infrastructure, little or no teaching aid, unruly behavior among students and teachers. So parents became fed up. And those of them who could afford it began to send their children to private schools, even if it meant saving their entire 1 year salary to pay one term school fees. They were ready to do it. I don't want to leave you in a state that will not give you hope for a better future. They want to equip you to be able to compete with your mates anywhere you find yourself in the world. So they are ready to make sacrifices. It is the same thing the ICPC is doing with anti-corruption clubs. The reason we have these decrepit situations in some of our schools is because of corruption. Teachers come to class not to teach, but to sell commodity to students. Some teachers want to instill discipline in the students who are under their care. They punish you. Parents come to school to slap and fight those teachers. Students cut classes, but they tell their parents they've gone to school. They don't come to school. They are somewhere else doing something else. And when it is time for exams, because they were not in class, because they do not have the notes, they did not listen to the lectures, they resort to exam malpractice. And the system keeps going down. For how long will this continue? The ICPC took it upon itself as part of its mandate of educating and mobilizing the citizenry against corruption to set up what we call the Students' Anti-Corruption Clubs in primary and secondary schools, the Students' Anti-Corruption Vanguard in tertiary schools. We have them in many schools across the country, and we are still launching.
The cluster inauguration, according to him, was strategic as it saves time for the ICPC to focus on school monitoring while also helping students from various schools connect, collaborate, and form a united front for the fight against corruption.
The reason we brought you together to save the time we would use to go to individual schools for club launching. When we save that time, we will use that time to come to your individual schools to monitor what you're doing after you have been inaugurated, after you have been launched. The second reason is to create a platform for all of you from different schools to network. Why did we form the Students' Anti-Corruption Club? To equip you with the knowledge to identify and classify corruption and corrupt practices in your school. To give you a platform to have a voice, to contribute to the development of your school, your community, and the Nigerian state. After today, We do not want to see or hear that students from the schools, the 9 schools that are here, are engaged in exam malpractice, cultism, bullying, absenteeism, lateness to class, and all other vices. We do not want to hear
A
that.
major highlight was a thought-provoking paper presented by Mr. Suleiman Achille, Assistant Director and Head of the Students' Anti-Corruption Club's unit. The presentation focused on educating the students about corruption and the effect of corruption in the society and on their dreams.
By the Independent Corrupt Persons and Other Related Offences Act defines corruption to mean the abuse of public trust, for private gain. The first one will have bribery, nepotism, then extortion, corruption among the youth. You've heard something about examination malpractices, falsification of certificate, reports and record, sex for mass. This commissioner will tell you amply. I've actually carried out investigation regarding this matter and been able to, prosecute so many professions. Cybercrime, internet fraud, cultism, bullying. And you know what corruption has done to this country. Corruption allows for the quality and standard of education to fall. It increases unemployment and crime. Corruption erodes the ethical base of society. It leads to infrastructural decay and essential services who are not rendered as at when due. It causes economic retardation. It causes mass poverty. It gives all youth a bad name. Corruption makes youth not to be given positions of authority. Leadership is only entrusted to those who have integrity. Corruption affects you, especially the youth.
A vibrant Q&A session followed where students asked bold questions showing that the anti-corruption drive has not only begun but has gained interest in the hearts of the students. The climax of the event was the oath-taking ceremony led by Barrister Leslie Iheduru, officially inducting students into the Anti-Corruption Club family.
I do solemnly pledge that I shall be loyal, faithful, and committed to the ideals of the club.
From education and whistleblowing to being role models and advocates for the right practices, these students are not just participants, they are now watchdogs in their institutions.